Barcelona, they win. Very convincing performance. Very strong, dominant first half performance to pretty much put the game out of the bed and walk away from a game which on paper looked very tricky, especially after what Alaves did to Madrid after coming from behind. It was Madrid was leading 3-0 at Santiago Bernabeu, and then Alaves scored 2 goals within literally 3 minutes, and they had it got tricky. So people thought, you know what, away from home, could it be another tough challenge for Barcelona after what happened against Osasuna? But Hansi Flick said, you know what, I'm not taking no risk with the lineup. I'm not taking no risk with the rotations, and Barcelona produced a very strong display. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how Barcelona won. Let's talk about the lineup, what happened. Of course, Ferran Torres went out, which was a positive thing for Barcelona. And of course, Lewa Golski continuing his crazy form with a hat-trick today. Before I go any further, do not forget to, of course, like the video right now. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. And there is some of you who watch and not subscribe, which I don't understand why. And of course, comment your own thoughts, whether you agree or disagree with what I'm about to say. Let's go straight away to the lineup which Barcelona had. This was the lineup that Barcelona played. The 2 changes from the lineup is, of course, Ferran Torres came back to the starting 11, and of course, Fort started on the right-hand side with Koundé being rested. And the first 5 minutes, Alaves, of course, put the pressure on Barcelona. But the moment this guy went off, the moment Ferran Torres went off, which honestly is a blessing in disguise for Barcelona. And I'm not sure how long his injury is for. I'm not sure how long he's out for. But the moment he went off and the moment Garcia came on, where's Eric Garcia? Everything changed. People thought that how Barcelona would play people thought it would be like this. It didn't look like this because Eric Garcia, in my opinion, Pedri didn't play as a 10, in my opinion. Pedri played more as an 8. What it looked like this. It looked like a 3-man midfield with Eric Garcia pretty much being the lone pivot, and sometimes them two rotating. It would rotate because the third goal actually, Lewa's third goal came from Eric Garcia being in that position, and of course that line-breaking pass. But I mean, the goals itself, the first goal, Lewa Golski being clinical with the header, very, very poor man marking from the Alaves defenders. Great delivery, of course, from Rafinha. But then the second goal, what a touch. Pedri, great pass to Rafinha. And Rafinha's first touch was absolute insane. Cooked the defender completely. Pretty much, there was so much space on that pretty much right-hand side. So much space to pretty much ball carried. Great pass to Lewa. And of course, 2-0. And the third goal, Pedri with an excellent pass to Eric Garcia, who managed, I don't understand that. 3 of the goals, you can pretty much say that very poor man marking and very poor defensively from Alaves. That the 3 goals which they conceded is, you shouldn't be expecting, bro, do better. Honestly, man, we're playing La Liga, bro. This is not the second division or third division. Like, all 3 goals, the first goal, Lewa is completely empty in the box. The second goal, so much space for him to pretty much Rafinha to run. So much space. No people defending. Everyone is pretty much in Barcelona's final third. And the third goal, the fact that Eric Garcia managed to find Lewa between the defenders. If you guys are going to give Lewa so much space, all right, maybe try to put an offside trap. Maybe push forward so maybe Lewa's offside. They didn't, bro. There was so both of them. What's his name? Mourinho and what's the other guy? Abga as well. Both of them, bro. There was so much pretty much deep, which allows Lewa between them to pretty much take it and score, bro. Like Lewa, all 3 goals. I think that even the third goal, the goalkeeper should have done. The goalkeeper dived after the ball went in after 4 seconds. Like, broski, come on, man. But 3 clinical finishes from Lewa, but the first half was just dominant from Barcelona. The second half, they knew. I mean, this has been, I think, a pattern from Barcelona from what I've seen them this season. That against young boys, they did pretty much the exact same thing. Against Villarreal and Girona, they did the exact same thing where they do well. And against Real Valladolid as well, to be fair, when they won 7-0. Like, the first half, they pressure. They make them not breathe, and they score 1, 2, 3 goals, 4 goals. And in the second half, you know what? Let's just chill. Let's just reserve energy. Let's just finish the game off. Very smart. They just played smart, calculated, recycle possession when they need to, and that's how they play second half. If they're under pressure in the second half, if the game is still tight, then of course they go for the game. But if they're leading by 3 goals, 4 goals in the second half, they don't try to take a lot of risk because they don't want to take risk and maybe an injury might happen. Same thing you saw with Dani Carvajal. Literally, he got injured in the last second of the game. Same thing happened to Banal, an injury in the last second of the game. So this time, the second half, let's just reserve as much energy as possible and let's just keep the ball moving one by one and passing the line. And they did quite well in the second half to pretty much finish the game off. Despite a couple chances from Alaves in the first half, they had a goal disallowed. Poor man marking by Kubasi. Inaki Penny should have done better, but that's one thing Barcelona have done very well this game specifically, because there's a couple free kicks which was also called offside, disallowed. Alaves scored a goal in the second half which got disallowed, but the second half and the first half, Barcelona's offside trap this season has been very, very smart. Like their high line is incredible, bro. It's honestly incredible. Like the way they make you literally, your only option is to get outside of that little press, is to pretty much put the ball behind defense. But their offside trap is elite, is that they understand. They've got a very great understanding. Of course, Ford just came in and we'll talk about pretty much how each person did, but they've got a great understanding of pushing up when they need to just before the ball comes in. And they did it in this game. I think 7. How many times did Alaves get called offside? Because it was so many, bro. I don't know if there's a stat for that. I don't think there is. Hey, that's not a stat for that. Hey, offside 11, bro. Look at this. 11 offside for Alaves. 11 offside for Alaves. The Alaves was pretty much getting called offside in every single attack for Barcelona. And this is something which I've realized Barcelona do a lot this season, where they like to push up and try to avoid and make sure the offside trap is working out perfectly. Of course, the changes for this game was, of course, Fort coming in, which, to be fair, he's a very reliable defender. Like, Fort is a natural right back anyway, but he's a person that can play right back, centre back, and left back. And I reckon he should be the next man up. If anything happens, of course, to Koundé, he did quite decent today. If anything happened to Bolde, it should be him replacing Bolde and not Jared Martin. And if anything happens to these two, of course, Arujo and Christensen will pretty much be back. Kubasi, beside, of course, the little mistake with the disallowed goal, he was pretty decent. Inigo Martinez is continuing his strong form. He's been very good this season in terms of what he's had in terms of impact and experience in that back line. Bolde progressing the ball as usual, the usual Bolde performances. Casado did the dirty work in terms of intercepting any sort of pass that's trying to come to the pocket. Eric Garcia, to be fair, when he came on, had a couple good passing, and of course the assist for the third goal. Great pass, but at the same time, it should have been much more great defensively for Alaves. Pedri, in terms of my best 3 players off the game itself. But Lamine Yamal had his moments, had his glimpses, the dribbling in the first half, of course. He got substituted early in the second half, which you saw his reaction. I mean, let's see if we can see his reaction. Let's see if his reaction can come up. Lamine. Let's just say he wasn't very happy when he got taken off. He wasn't very much happy when he got taken off. Like here. His reaction you can see. No, here. His reaction you can see right here. He's not happy. But of course being taken out. And again, that could be, I don't know, that could be. Because I've realized with Lamine Yamal, if we go here, yeah, I've realized this is not the first game that he's been taken out. No, this guy, Lamine Yamal. The last 2 games, I realized that even against Young Boys, that he got a bit annoyed when he got taken out as well. That the last 2 games, he's been taken out quite early. And of course, I don't know if this is Hansi Flick basically saying, let me reserve you. I need you. I can't afford to get you injured. I'm trying to pretty much manage your minutes, which I think it is. Because you still need to understand he's still 17 years old. So I think Hansi Flick is trying to manage his minutes and don't want to overload his minutes excessively, which is a great. To be fair, that's what great managers do. Lamine Yamal getting annoyed and getting upset. I think people need to understand he's still a kid. I think he's still 17 years old, and I think it's just a kid behavior. He still hasn't matured. Like, he hasn't even grown to be an adult. So him being annoyed, it's just normal kid behavior. But if Hansi Flick would continue doing it, of course he needs to have a chat with Lamine Yamal, because you know how the press are. Like the Barcelona press and the Spanish press, they would eat stuff like this up. They would try to create narrative, because I've seen it happen to my team. I've seen it happen to Madrid so many times, where couple little disagreements between there was one moment when Mbappe and Vinny was talking to each other, just talking to each other, bro. The following day, AS made a report. Is Madrid and is Vinny and Mbappe beefing in the on the pitch? Like, bro, they're just having a conversation. So the Spanish press, similar to the English press, they like to create drama. So I think for Hansi Flick's sake, have a chat with Lamine Yamal. Just maybe say, you know what, avoid stuff like that. Let's have a chat, maybe be upset in the dressing room. But Hansi Flick should pretty much continue doing what he's doing in terms of managing his minutes, because I think I said it last season. One thing about Lamine Yamal, of course, you're playing him because he's talented and his ability and what he can bring. But at the same time, you need to understand his bones hasn't even grown. Like, he's still a kid. You have to remember that. He's still 17 years old. And you saw what happened to Pedri, where so many excessive games will put him in a stress of getting hamstring injuries. So Lamine Yamal pretty much being taken out, I don't think should be a conversation. But of course, you know how the Spanish press is. My best three players of the game was Pedri. I think he controlled the game quite well in the midfield, dictated. I think the second goal and the third goal came from his fingerprints and his passing ability, especially the first time pass that he got, because Lamine Yamal passed it to Pedri, and Pedri, with the first time that very great forward first time pass to Eric Garcia in a great position. And the second person, in my opinion, who had a great game is Rafinha. To be fair, as much as Lewa scored the hat-trick, and of course Lewa, I think, won man of the match, La Liga's man of the match, if I'm not mistaken. Did he win La Liga's man of the match? I think he did. I think he won La Liga's man of the match, if I'm not mistaken. Most likely he did, no? Yeah, most likely he did. I think Lewa won La Liga man of the match, and I think he won... Did he win Football's man of the match? Let's go back. He did, yeah, I did. In my opinion, the person who did pretty much everything, even defensively and everything, and being the leader as they is, I would have given it to pretty much Rafinha. Again, I'm not saying it's wrong to give it to Lewa, and I'm not saying you shouldn't be giving it to Lewa. I think Lewa deserved the 3 goals, of course. You can't say anything bad about it. But I think Rafinha deserved it after what the performance they dropped, in terms of just a complete performance, to be fair. Like, defending, he was helping them when the Alaves had that little moments when Barcelona was leading 2-0, and when Alaves tried to get that little first goal back, and even going up, I think that second goal, the assist to that goal, was incredible. The first goal, the free kick delivery, was very good as well. I think he did very well. Of course, Ansu Fati came on, and Barcelona still trying to understand what his role is, whether, because he came on and played on the right hand side. I think this, and him and Rafinha swapped, of course. Pedri, another person who came on, was of course Frankie de Jong came on as well. But I said it in the watch along. I did a watch along for the game, and I said it myself. And again, some Barcelona fans will disagree with what I'm saying right now. But I think, me personally speaking, of course, there's still so many players coming back from an injury, the likes of Araujo, Christensen, Gavi, and Olmo for Barcelona. For Frankie de Jong, I think at the moment, Frankie has been back now for 3 games. He's been coming off the bench for now 3 games now. For Barcelona, forget Eric Garcia, because I think Olmo will come back quite soon as well to replace him. I think for Barcelona's sake, the best situation for them, you know what, let me just quickly do this so you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Again, Frankie is not going to be starting for here. I'm just giving you 2 options. The 2 options for Barcelona is basically Pedri or Casado or Pedri or Frankie. That's the 2 options. If Frankie was going to be starting, he wouldn't be starting here. He would be starting here. Me personally speaking, on paper, of course, status wise and big signing wise and player name wise, these 2 on paper might be, yes, let's go with them. But if you actually, again, I could be wrong, but this is, I really believe this. And if you agree with it, then you know ball. For Barcelona's sake, in terms of balance, in terms of stability, and in terms of actually the best of the team, this is much better for Barcelona. Because, bro, we've seen Pedro and Frankie work for long, and it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. He's not a defensive-minded player. Casado is a natural 6. So Casado, yes, Casado goes up and progresses the ball. But at the same time, Casado is a natural defensive-minded first, attacking second. Frankie, he is attacking first, defending second. So for Barcelona, I'll be quite interested to see what Hansi Flick is going to do. Because, of course, Frankie's just come back from a long injury. Has had 3 games now off the bench. So, of course, it makes sense now. It makes sense now that he's maybe just trying to maybe get in rhythm. After the international break, let's see who starts. Would it be Frankie? Or would it still be Casado? If I was Hansi Flick, I would play Casado. Because I think Casado is the much more reliable defensive-minded player. But, of course, Barcelona, they win and they now have that lead. Back to 3 points. The goal difference is crazy, of course. They're adding to the goal difference, which is pretty much something which they've done all season. Just convincing. Just very convincing. Very, very solid. Very dominant. Unlike, I don't want to say. But, of course, put down in the comments what you guys felt about the game. International due is now coming up. And that doesn't mean that that's not going to be any more videos. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to be providing any sort of content. There's still going to be a lot of videos coming up pretty much every single day during the international break, whether that is Madrid related, Barcelona related, La Liga related. I've got La Liga video outside of Madrid and Barcelona for all of you guys La Liga heads to understand what's happening outside of Madrid and Barcelona. And I've got just a normal football video, but I'll be dropping videos pretty much every single day during the whole international break. So this channel is not going to stop. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Bring that notification button, of course. And like the video as well, man. Like the video. Algorithm is important. Of course, comment your own thoughts on what you agree. And let me know if you agree with my Frankie take. My Frankie and Casado take. I think Casado and Pedri is much better balance-wise. Again, player-wise, Frankie might be a better player overall than Casado. But I'm just saying in terms of for Barcelona in this system, I think Casado is the better fit. Put down in the comments and I'll see you soon. Peace.